special guests on select days.
All my rowdy friends are coming over tonight.
Get tickets now at
Yo, yo, yo. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yeah, I just have my mic and camera off when no one's here. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Um I went ahead let's see. Okay, yeah. So I went ahead and got started. I'm just analyzing some pairs. Let me see. Let me zoom out just a little bit. And I think I said last week, this is my last week of trading before I am traveling for the holidays. As you guys can see, I haven't really placed any trades this month, starting November or ending November. But it is currently December the 12th. So we're going to see what happens this week. It is Tuesday. I think I'm going to extend this live to 9 o'clock since we do have CPI. But really the objective for this week, guys, is for me to, oops. My camera should be on now. My bad. But the objective for this week, me personally, is to pass my funding challenge that I've been doing for the past couple of weeks. I've been very quiet about it, but so far so good. And then I have to update OBS. I have to merge everything by this Friday. And I'm really taking a break from the content until I pass the funding, or I want to see what happens with the funding this week, only because that's my main objective. And in terms of content, I think what I'm going to start pushing out is more breakdowns, like I mentioned last week, and then, of course, the everyday trading with the funding. So that's what I'm looking forward to for my channel. As far as now, I think I'm going to continue just doing live streams and then making clips. And that's pretty much it. But I've been really patient, guys. Really patient. You know, I'm not rushing anything. As you guys can see, I'm very patient in the market. I don't really take trades. I don't force trades if I don't see anything. And it works, you know. And once this week ends, I'll show you guys all the stats of why being patient is important in the market. Because when you don't rush stuff, guys, you take the most optimal setups. You don't try to force entries. But this month is choppy overall. Start of the week or start of the month is pretty smooth. But once we head near the holidays, you know, the market tends to be a bit more choppy. And then it starts to clear up after New Year's. But this morning we have news on USD at 8:30 CPI, so I might extend for another 30 minutes to see what happens if we have any setups. And then we have news at 1:01 p.m. But it's not as volatile as CPI, so we might stay longer depending on who's here, and wrap it up at 9. Otherwise, this is probably gonna be a chill stream. We're gonna look for some setups and break down some pairs. So I went ahead and kind of analyzed gold. So let's start the daily time frame. On gold, I'm really eyeing 1932. So if we get a nice push down to around this area, this would be more optimal for buys, only because we see price reacting off of this from previous weeks. And if we go ahead and scale on the 4-hour, notice how price is trailing down. We want to find a nice point of when it's going to have that reverse, right? So I'm saying if price does near 1932, I'd look for some buys. For some reason, guys, that's what I usually go for. I try to prioritize where price is going to reverse. I don't really like to trade off with continuations, only because with continuations, you don't know when it's going to stop unless there's an optimal point of support, or if you're trading supply and demand of demand, right? So that's what I'm looking at on gold, especially from news. If we get a nice push, then I catch that nice reverse back up. So that's what I'm looking at on gold. Strictly just going off of TDA, and then we'll do a more enhanced analysis in the next 20 minutes or so. But that's what I'm looking at, okay? AUD USD, pretty simple. So dividing price into ranges, right? We have range 1, range 2. Price is trailing below range 2. And I'm simply saying that if price does near 0.66, what is that, 162, then I'd want to catch this nice breakout back in the range 2. Or a break and retest, because this could reject off of that and continue to push down, right? So what we want to see is a nice closure above to take price back up to around 0.66. We can round that to 8. And this would be a total of what? 60 pips? Pretty solid. And it is currently 25 pips away from that area. So not too bad. And it is USD, so we could get a nice push from news from CPI. We'll see. AUD JPY, this is a good example of price reacting off of zones. So notice how if you were using a strict line, let's say you're simply trading support and resistance, okay? Notice how price does push down. And then some could say that this would be what? Newly formed resistance, but price doesn't quite touch that line, right? And this is why I like to trade zones more than strict lines, because sometimes you'll see this. But if you go ahead and go to the past, right, looking at previous price, notice how most traders would have had this zone marked up of demand, would have pushed this zone all the way out, and this would have been more accurate, right? Because we have price reacting off right here, price reacts right here, and then if we look at current price, it comes back up and comes slightly into that zone before pushing off of it. So this would have been more accurate. Most people would have saw that I was entering into that zone, would have cut that nice entry off of that LPI, right? And this would have been a nice entry for about 45 pips, give or take. This is why people trade zones, guys. This is a beautiful example. And you'll see stuff like this all the time. This also goes back to the whole fib concept where people would draw a fib. I guarantee this is going to be, let's see, this is going to be past the entry zone. Just about. So most traders probably would have placed a fib where it said, hey, if it's a bearish trend, catch that nice continuation, hits that golden zone, that sweet spot, and then people would have hopped in. So either way. That's why you want to trade zones more than strict lines of support and resistance, you know. And then it comes down to your stop loss placement. You know, when I have my zones, I place it below or above that zone just in case we have a fake out or if price decides to wick us at a certain level. CAD JPY, same thing, right? You know, price does dip down, has a retracement before having that continuation, right? Euro AUD, let's see. All right, so Euro AUD, start on the daily time frame. Let's go and delete this. So I'm noticing that price did react off of that daily daily support at a 1.62736 and decided to push up. And this was from last week. Okay, so it did decide to push up going on a 4-hour time frame. It is ranging just a bit. You know, we could use the wedge retail concept, saying that, hey, price is in some sort of slanted range. If it does decide to push up, we look for some sort of breakout. Euro CAD. So Euro CAD on a daily time frame, I am noticing that price is reacting off that daily level as well at 1.46120. We can just round that up. It's not as precise, but you can clearly see how price is reacting off of that level. We do get closer above or below, excuse me, but then it pushes back up. Let's just scale on the 1 hour real quick, see what we have. All right, so scaling in on the 30-minute, we could say that price is reacting off of this level at 1.46550. We have this nice bearish wick, or I'm sorry, this bullish wick takes out all of these sellers and then it pushes back down. So yes, it does kind of grab some sort of liquidity floating above. So the chances of it coming back up and pushing out again are very low rather than just having a simple retracement. So because it's reacting off this level, we have a touch right here, right? We have somewhat of a touch right here, not as precise, but then we have a touch right here, okay? So with this wick, with this bullish wick pushing in and then this bearish candle closing above, we could say that price was filled 50%. So when it comes to the concept of traffic, right? When you have gaps in the market, it didn't quite fill all this up. Okay, so because we have this wick, it takes out some liquidity. The chances of it coming back up, right, and then pushing out again are far more lower than price just reacting off that level and then pushing back down, if that makes sense. So because it's pushing down right now, we don't want to follow price. We want to lead it to a certain area. So this is 9 pips away from entry. So I'm just gonna place an alert and say at 1.46550, we're gonna come back. So I'm gonna say watch price. This is marked this as blue. All right, so same thing with Euro GBP. So I boxed in price. I think this was from last week. I boxed in price. Let's go on the daily time frame. Notice how price was pretty stagnant. We have all these wicks fluctuating within the zone. Let's scale on the 4 hour. So I'm simply just boxing up price, guys, and then on the 2 hour, 1 hour, scaling down even more. Notice how price does have this break, and now it's retesting that new level. So the break and the retest, right? So scale on a 30-minute, we see price clearly starting to move up off of that zone. And then it's more than likely going to near 0.86066. And this would be a total of what? A nice 15-pip move, okay. Because it's only filled 50% of that gap so far. So we could see a nice move this morning on Euro GBP. Might have a nice entry if price does come back a little to 0.85866, and I'd probably just take it back up because technically we did have a break and it is reacting off of that break, and we want to get that nice retracement back up. So I'm gonna mark this as well. That's something we could come back to in the next 8 minutes. Euro GBP. We're gonna move on from this pair. I'm not really seeing anything from the daily time frame. We might come back, but I'm gonna move on to Euro USD. So on Euro USD, you know, simply trading zones, supply and demand, many would have this zone marked up before having this nice bullish push. Technically, it does react off of that zone, off of that nice HPI. So this morning, since we would have CPI on USD, I want to see price near at least 50% of that zone if we're going to try to find some sort of entry. Only because I want to have a safe stop loss. So if we were to hop in around this area, right, and I placed a trade right here, my stop loss would be really wide. You know, this would be over what, 50 pips, and if I had a entry at that 50%, we could shorten it for like 35, but we don't want to make it too wide because that's more risk. So whenever I see zones of supply and demand or order blocks, right, I at least want price to near that 50% level so that I can have a nice stop loss below that zone for buys or my stop loss above for sells. So I'm going to come back to Euro USD because we do have CPI at 830. And again, we could just say if price does near that zone again, we could say at 1.07228, we're going to watch price. And when it comes to me analyzing these pairs, guys, one thing I want to make clear, you know, this is something that just makes sense to me. And I'm not always correct. I think last week I analyzed all my pairs, and I was wrong about like 4 of them from last week. So although I sound confident and although I might know what I'm talking about, it's not always correct, okay? It's not always correct. Sometimes it just doesn't play out the way I want it to play out, which is fine. Because I'm still learning, but this is just what's been working for me, okay? I want to make that very clear. This isn't always going to work out in my favor. If it does work out in my favor, then I execute, right? Sometimes it doesn't even go that direction, but hopefully it does, right? That's the whole point of trading. GBP AUD. So I did box in price already. I'm noticing that it is in a pretty choppy range. Notice on the daily time frame, there isn't really a direction price is going. So I simply boxed in current price. We have this nice, I'm going to say choppy range because yes, price does go in and out at the beginning, you know, support, resistance, and kind of fix out right here before coming back to the zone. We have this nice break, closes above, but it's not quite ready to push up. Another example when the break and retest doesn't really work sometimes. Comes back into the range and then comes back down and then comes up and then comes down. So we're going to wait for a breakout on GBP AUD. Hopefully from the downside, only because we already had these pushes from the upside. So realistically, if price does push down, we'll take it all the way back down to 1.89352. So I'm going to place another alert right here, guys. Simply just saying watch price so we don't miss any type of break. All right, so GBP JPY. Starting on my daily time frame, price is currently pushing down, but it did previously react off of that nice gap at around 179. We can round it up to 179.8. Scaling down on my 4-hour. Like I said, price is currently pushing down. If anything, I want to see price near some sort of level of some support resistance, excuse me. So price is pushing down. If anything, I'd probably wait for price to near 108.460, only because we don't have any previous structure. So you know, when it comes to a bearish trend, guys, you want to see some lower lows or lower highs. This isn't as clean for that type of candle print we're looking for. You know, most people, they would say, hey, we have this nice push to the market. If anything, price is going to continue to push off. And then we look for another retracement. The only problem is, you know, after this break, you know, we don't have previous zones or anything. So this wouldn't be as accurate. And then looking for that type of demand, supply zone, you don't really have that previous zone marked up. I mean, this could work because looking at previous price all the way here from November the 23rd, you know, we have all this push right here, but doesn't quite retrace. And then price eventually breaks again and retraces off of 184.233. So if anything, we would wait for price to make another touch, forming that double top for a continuation, or we'd wait for a push at 180. So I'm just gonna I'll place another alert because this is already this is already well away from that newly formed resistance. So I guess I'll just place an alert. Why not? It doesn't hurt. Just watch price. So far that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pairs we're looking at this morning. Okay, that's not too bad. Realistically, we're probably not going to see a move on GBP JPY this morning just because price is so far away from entry. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that orange for now. And on GU. So GU on the daily time frame, noticing that price is reacting off of that zone that I had marked up, I believe from last week. So noticing that we have this push to the market, price does, I think this was the video I made last week too. But price does near that zone. We have this nice wick. And this is why it's really important to pay attention to your stop loss entry, because if I was trading precise levels of support and resistance and I had my stop loss just about at that newly formed support, I would have been stomped out more than likely if I took this trade. But if my stop loss was well below this zone, chances are I would have been in the trade still. But besides the point, price did react. See on the 2 hour, you guys can clearly see the zone right here. Marked it up before we had that nice bullish push. And then eventually comes back down. And this would have been a 25 pip stop loss. So if I had a 25 pip stop loss, which is ideal, I would have been good for the trade if I took it. But this is a nice example of why you don't want to trade precise lines of support and resistance. Because let's say if it was like this, more than likely I would have been stopped out. But if I have a zone where I can clearly see where price is heading towards and I have my stop loss below the zone rather than support and resistance, the chances of me staying in the trade are much higher. But price does come back to that zone and it's currently pushing up. It's not as clean, but this is what we have to work with. So price is currently, what is this? 25 pips away from demand. So if anything, I probably want to see what happens if price does come back. I don't think I'm going to try to find any trades, but we'll see on GU because it's a USD pair. And again, we have CPI at 830. So I want to see what happens on any USD pair. So I'll go ahead and mark this orange, just like GJ. USD CAD did react off of that gap a week ago. So again, we'll see if price does near that level, but that's well above 80 pips, so it's not likely. But I'll mark it orange as well. And excuse me, this is my last week of live trading. I'll still send out analysis next week, but I'm just not going to be in office. I'm not going to be here, guys. I'm going to be traveling. Just letting you guys know. But it's my last week of live trading. Whole objective is to pass funding. If I pass funding, I'm gonna start making content again on my channel. But that's the main objective. And then I have to change OBS because with Henko Trade, guys, they're not allowing people to trade mobilely anymore. Or they took it off the app, so you can no longer trade off your phone with Henko Trade. You gotta trade through the terminal. So I did a lot of research yesterday. I might have to move brokers because Henko Trade is scamming people. When I say scamming people, so for me personally, guys, when I trade, I don't really, I take trading as investing, right? So whenever I trade, if I make a good percent, I keep it in my account so I can up my lot sizes. And when it comes to withdrawals, that's funding. So that's my main objective. So I can, take those withdrawals and compound my other accounts. But with Henko trades, people want to do daily withdrawals. Apparently, they're not allowing their clients to withdraw their money. So I did a lot of research, and I don't want to get to the point where when I do have these funding challenges and I'm compounding these accounts and I'm trying to make those withdrawals, the broker won't allow me. So I might have to change brokers before 2024 so that doesn't happen. But yeah, apparently Henko Trade, it has been scamming people recently. So might have to change. And what I will do is most likely change back to Forex.com. Which is a broker, I believe. I was trading this broker for 1 year. I think the only issue I had was it wasn't allowing people to trade gold. So it says you can trade over 80 FX pairs with USD, spread as little as 0.0, low commissions, which is really important. You can do stock trading, future trading. So I might change to this because Henko Trade has been pretty sketchy recently from what I've been seeing on Instagram. But yeah, the time is now 7:05. We're gonna circle back to gold and work our way down. But that is 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs that I'm focusing on this morning. If you guys have any questions, let me know. We had a nice push on USD JPY. I think this was a trade I sent out last week, but we had a nice push. And I think I sent a nice buy entry around this area. The problem was that price pushed down further and then eventually decided to push up. But once it did push up, it reacted off that newly formed resistance, pushing back down for over 100 pips. So if anything, like on, I think, AUD USD, we would look for a break back into this range. This would be a nice 80 pip move back to 1474. And notice how I'm just simply dividing price into ranges. So we have range 1, range 2, and then we have range 3. Do you guys clearly see these ranges where I'm just taking it at that previous high? So we have this high right here, right? We have this high right here, and then we have this high right here. So technically we could have this marker and say this would be the end of range 3 at 148,308. So price nears 146,473, looking for that break in the range 2. And then if it nears 147.432, looking for that break in the range 3. And then eventually, heading into quarter 1 of next year, if it breaks 148.308, then I'm looking for that break into what? Range 4. So this is why I like to divide price and ranges because I can clearly see what price is doing. And when it comes to structure, you know, if price does come back up to that level, then yes, we could get a nice continuation back down. It would be what? A double top, just simply trading gaps. But because we already had that push to market, I'm looking at where we have that push for price to eventually fill up that whole gap. So price is more likely going to fill up this whole gap. Price is more likely going to fill up this whole gap. And then so on and so on. So is it likely we'll get that move this morning? No. Just because it's not as close to that level. But we could see something next week. Or honestly, it is Tuesday. We could see something this week. So I'll just place a alert so we don't miss anything. I'll just say watch price at 146,473. We'll just say watch price. Yeah, I heard about the Henkel situation too. Yeah, man. So I don't want to what's the word? Persuade you guys into for new traders. Persuade you guys to trade with a broker that's not as legit as I thought it was. So me not being so inclined with the whole industry, not really being up to date with everything, when I see stuff like this, it makes me look bad too. So I got to be careful. So basically the whole situation, I'm on Instagram for like an hour on Smart Money Ace, this account, and I'm seeing all these traders talk about Henkel trade, and apparently Henkel trade isn't allowing people to make withdrawals. And I was explaining earlier the type of trader I am. I'm just trying to compound my account, so I barely make withdrawals unless it's funding, right? So I have this whole system of taking profit splits and then compounding my accounts so I can up my lot sizes. That's like my whole plan when it comes to trading. But apparently Henkel trade isn't allowing people to make daily withdrawals. And this is like recently. This isn't something that they've always been doing. And I think the problem, or I think why they're doing this, is because they recently took Henkel trade off MetaTrader, I believe. So you can't even trade mobily anymore. So that's pretty sketchy, When it comes to trading, I think most brokers are trying to make it very hard for US clients. So what they're doing is not allowing a lot of traders to have access to brokers on MetaTrader 5 and MetaTrader 4. They're making it very difficult for people to trade, basically. What up, Sage? How's it going? So I was doing some research. I might have to change brokers. I might just go back to Forex.com, which I was using last year. It didn't have any problems. The only issue is they didn't allow me to trade gold, I think. So hopefully they changed that. But I might have to switch brokers next week. So yeah. Let's go back to AUD. Let's just go ahead and recap, guys. So basically this morning I have all my alerts placed. We're looking for a break on AUD USD. Let's see, Euro CAD, same thing. Price is pretty much there too. Wow. Looking for a break. If anything, we would catch a break and retest since price is pretty much already there. Saying that, hey, if we do get this nice break back in the range too, then we want to look for that retracement and hopefully watch price near 1.467 before the end of the week, pushing all the way back up, right? So the reason why I'm going to look for a break and retest rather than just a simple break is because this wick, right? So because we already had this wick, this would have been a nice example of what would have happened if we just traded that break. So, we would have been up, around 10 pips. That's not even a take profit I'd probably take, right? So price does come back down in a range 1, and let's say if it did flip after taking this trade, we would have more than likely been stopped out. So the reason why you want to wait for a nice closer above, because that closer above is going to tell us that, hey, price is more than likely going to push or continue to push up in a range too, rather than fake us out like this right here. So we're going to look for a break, right? And then a closer above 1.46550, and we'll take price all the way back up. We could play it extra safe and enter after price breaks the previous candle, right? Or we could just wait for a closer above. So we'll see what happens this morning, and we'll just trade with low risk. But that's what I'm anticipating on Euro CAD. And I'll go ahead and save this. Let me go ahead and type this in. GJ M5 on a long downtrend. Any possibilities for reversal? Let's see. Ooh, okay. So you said on the 5-minute long downtrend. Let's see. Yes. First thing I noticed, the reason why I said ooh is because, when it comes to having to push the market, like looking at this right here, and when it comes to gaps, like I noticed that price did technically form some sort of zone before having that push. So there is a good chance it is starting to wick off as well on the 30-minute. Also on the 5-minute, right? You said M5? Yeah, the 5-minute, there is a really good chance for that. That's a really good entry. But I don't know where I would take it. And then scaling back out on the 4-hour. What did I say earlier? I think I said if price does decide to, if price fails that level, I was going to take it near 180. But that is a good spot. I kind of like this. Not going to lie. I think my only issue, let's see. Oh, my only issue is that price is currently in that premium. So I think I mentioned earlier, I like taking trades at the 50% or 100. So because price is already kind of breaking out, I'd more than likely wait for a break and retest. So if we scale even more, what do I mean by that? So basically, if we have this nice level, we have this nice push to the zone, I want to wait for a break and then a push after that closer above, if that makes sense. But it's a really good chance, Sage, for a reversal, only because price is already at that gap right now. It's inside that zone. So there's a good chance it's going to flip right now, honestly. Really good chance. I like this. So I would say watch price for now and see if it holds. But very good chance, in my opinion. Very good chance. And I'd probably do something like this. Probably make this a nice 1 to 2. 18 pip stop loss. I'll probably take it back up here. possible prediction of CPI report. So we're gonna see what happens after CPI. Nick Wa, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Nowak. I'm gonna say Nowak, but I'm gonna extend the live to 9 o'clock. CPI is at 8:30. So on all USD pairs that I analyzed so far, we're gonna see if price reacts off of news, and we'll try to catch a retracement off of that impulsive reaction. So 8:30, we have news on CPI. If you guys don't know, and then I will more than likely extend the live to 9 o'clock. Let me go on the daily time frame real quick. Why did I have this? I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so I think the reason why I'm not going for that buy entry on the 5 minute is because we have a nice bearish push the market. If anything on the daily time frame, I'm saying that prices are more than likely going to have that bearish continuation because it does react off of 184, 233, and then if you're placing the fib as well, you would catch this nice retracement. Notice how this bullish wick kind of pushes off that, and then we have this nice bearish candle that closes below. And right now it's kind of continuing off that bearish push or that bearish market. So I think that's why I'm staying away from buys. And when it comes to TDA, you kind of want to trade off of that higher perspective. And I think that's why I stay away from the 5 minute, because sometimes it throws me off. Like the 5 minute looks good for buys right now, in my opinion. But because we have that bearish perspective, I think that's why I'm staying away from buys. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm going to mark it purple. We'll come back to this before the live ends and see the end result, because I'm actually very curious. I don't trade off of the 5 minute time frame. Maybe I'll start trading off of the 5 minute time frame because it's not too bad, This looks pretty clean to me. But we'll see, Sage. We'll see. And how many pips would have that been? That would have been a good 30, 34 pips. So not too bad, not too bad. But I think on the higher time frames, I catch better moves. I think that's why I stay on the 1 hour, 30 minute, etc. So EuroCAD is currently pushing into range 2, which is perfect. In the next 10 minutes, we'll see what happens on the 30-minute open, and then we'll wait another 30 minutes for that 1 hour candle. But we have EuroCAD. Euro GBP. Euro GBP is already pushing up, and this is what, 6 pips. All right, so I think realistically, AUD USD and I'm gonna say AUD USD, and I already have my bias for gold. AUD USD, Euro CAD, and Euro GBP are gonna be the main 3 we're gonna focus on this morning. But I have my alerts placed for all the other pairs just in case on CPI. So we have AUD USD for CPI, and we have all these other pairs I have marked up. But because price is so far away, I don't think it's realistic for Tuesday. We might have to come back later in the week. About the delivery, have you checked the order track though? Still waiting for it. All right, so when I was at the post office age, because you sent me your address, that's the address I gave them. Because it is so far, or out the United States, it's not gonna be an overnight delivery. Just letting you know right now. But I don't have it, so it is in transit. It's in transit, and I will have to send you all that information either today or tomorrow. But I'll send you all the information soon. Hopefully, it arrives before Christmas. That would be ideal. But as of right now, it is not going to be overnight, just because you don't live in the United States. So I will send you all the information soon, my friend. Yeah, so we'll probably just wait on Euro GBP. Would have been a nice entry. This is on the 1 hour time frame as well, so this would have been around 7 o'clock. The price is currently up 6 pips. We're just gonna wait. So again, guys, I'm just gonna break this down. So on Euro GBP, when you have price when it's like side channeling, you can box in price and wait for a break and a retracement, wait for some sort of reaction. So in the daily time frame, notice how price is pretty choppy. It's not really moving down or up. You see all these wicks. So what I like to do is just scale it on the 4 hour and box price in. So simply just boxing price from the most touches. So we have a touch right here. We have a touch right here. From the downside, we also have a touch right here. Okay, cool. From the upside, we have a touch right here. We have a touch right here. And we have a touch right here. So when it comes to that break in that retest, when you scale on the 2 hour, notice how these bullish candles push up. And what happens? We have a nice bearish closure above. Or we have a nice candle above that zone. So that new zone, you can call it newly formed support, because technically when it does push out of that zone, that would be classified as a new area that price is reacting off of. And we have a nice closure or a bullish open candle above that zone, and price is currently pushing up. So the reason why I like this method so much, because you can clearly see what price is doing. You're boxing in price, you're waiting for that nice clean push to have nice clean structure, and then push price up that nearest or previous level of resistance. So because price is already pushing up, we're not going to follow price. We're going to wait to see if price decides to fluctuate a little bit. If it does come back down, we will we'll look for some sort of entry, and then if it nears 0.86066 at around this area, we would obviously look for sells. So that's what we're looking for on Euro GBP, and CPI shouldn't affect this pair as well. So this will just be a normal entry. Not the best entry, since it is like 10 to 15 pips, but it's still something, right? So the time is now 7:26. We'll give it another 4 minutes or so and come back to all the pairs we analyzed. If you guys have any pairs you want to analyze, let me know. If you want to explain something again, let me know as well. But that is the main stuff that I'm looking at this morning. And hopefully we can try to find some entries. And with entries, hopefully we end with profit this morning. But last week was not good. Just because it was super dry. I mean, you can see on OBS, it says monthly record 00. It's not good. Not good. Yeah, we're gonna give it another 3 minutes. All right, so my entry would realistically be something like this. So because price is pushing up, if we get a nice closure above, then let's see. We'd actually want to wait for a retracement before taking any type of buy entry. So we'll see what happens in the next 2 minutes. Get a nice closure above 1.465. That's great. But we want to make sure we don't get faked out. Okay. So about 30 more seconds. We'll see what happens. But I probably take a entry past this previous candle right here at 1.4664 off of that wick and push price up. So gold, the same thing. Probably for a nice break, especially a CPI. So we have an hour before news. Catch a nice break in the range too. Be a nice 33 pip trade. Not too bad. Or we can wind this, make it exactly 1 to 2. I probably have to place a buy stop, just like last time. And this is CPI, so we could see a spike just from I think a couple weeks ago. My most recent live trade. We could see something like that, right? A big spike in the market. So on EuroCAD, we have about 30 minutes. What I really want to see, guys, is price near that newly formed support. I want to see like a nice. I don't have the tool for it, but I don't know. I'm gonna use the brush tool for now. Let's say we get a nice bearish candle like this. This is so ugly, but just bear with me for now. We get a nice bearish candle like this, And then before that 1 hour candle, we enter in for a nice buy and push price up past that previous candle. That's what I want to see, honestly. So hopefully we get that, honestly. I think that would be good for buys, but for now we're just gonna observe price and see what happens. Yeah, that is ugly, but you guys get it. Because what we don't want to do is get faked out. So that's why I'm just playing it safe, guys. We'll stay on the 30-minute time frame, but we have about 30 more minutes, give or take, 25 minutes to see if we get that nice entry. I think I'm going to chill before that hour candle. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we're just going to be patient. And my fault. I'm not in this trade, guys. This is something I would anticipate for CPI. So we have about, like I said, 25 minutes before news. But I would catch that break into, we'll say, range 2. Oops. Price is currently pushing up now, but we want to wait for that next hourly candle, just because price is fluctuating, and we want to play it extremely safe, especially if we have CPI this morning. So if we do get a nice closure above before CPI, I might just take this trade. Otherwise, we're going to play extremely safe. We have 20 minutes, okay. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to chill for the next 15 minutes or so, okay? Damn, I just realized my mic wasn't on. So what I just said is I'm not in this trade right now, guys. These are just my coordinates for when we get that nice closer above. We have 10 minutes, so I'll be back. Otherwise, I'm just chilling, okay? I'm not in the trade right now. Or what I think I'm gonna do, guys, I'll go ahead and place the trade now. So I'll place a buy stop just in case we get that move beforehand. I think that's more ideal. So if you guys can't see these coordinates, let me know. But this would be a buy stop on gold, okay? I'll send it in Discord, and I think I already sent it in Telegram. Yep. So let me just send this out real quick. And we'll say buy stops. If you guys can't see the coordinates, let me know. Otherwise, I have to type them out on screen for YouTube. But I will place a buy stop on gold, and these are my coordinates, okay? Let me go ahead and record this. All right. All right, everything should be updated, guys. So we'll see what happens next 8 minutes. I'll come back, and if things are activated, I'll also come back and update the trade. But I'm gonna go ahead and hop in for this buy step in the next minute. Make sure you guys are good first, and then I'll be back. Alrighty, so the time is now 8 o'clock. We're gonna check up on all these other pairs in a second, but gold is currently nearing 1988701. We have our buy stops placed. So if we do get this push, we want to see a nice break. We might get it during CPI, but then we want to see some sort of retracement nearing 1988 for that newly formed support back up nearing 1992. All right. So let's see. Let's see what EuroCAD is looking like. So look, EuroCAD, boom. I kind of called it. I don't know if I did, but we had a nice fake out. So on the 1 hour, yep. Look at how it kind of looks similar to what happened over here. So price does come in a range too, but we don't get that nice closure above 1.46, which is why you want to be careful, guys. So we more than likely would have been stopped out. If I hopped in, we more than likely would have been stopped out for for a buy entry. But notice how price doesn't exactly close above. So this is what you want to be careful of, guys. So now, since it's pushing down, we would more than likely just wait to see if it nears 1.46 for a reversal. But we didn't get that closer above, unfortunately, to have a nice push in the range too. It happens though. It happens. That's why you want to play careful and wait for that nice closure above. So on gold, again, we're just going to wait for that break. Hopefully we get it during CPI, but we do have our stops placed. I think that's it, right? Because we had, okay, so we had EuroCAD, but price failed. And then what else? I'm pretty sure we had another pair. Euro GBP won't price to near 0.8588 again, because we do get a nice break. Price does retrace off that newly formed support. We want to see if it continues to push up instead of come back into the zone. And GJ. So GJ is pushing off of that 5-minute time frame. And it's currently pushing for over 10 pips. Would have been a solid entry. I think I said I was going against this because of the daily time frame. So Sage, if you were to hop in on that 5-minute entry, I think you would have been good. But I think, personally, I think I'm just going to go with the daily time frame. But if you hopped in on the 5-minute, I think you would have been good. Not a bad entry at all. I think we're just going to focus on gold this morning. If you guys have any other pairs you want to analyze, let me know. But we have about 25 minutes for CPI. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know too. Otherwise, I'm just going to be patient this morning and just chill. My trade is active. Letting you guys know, my trade is currently active. My entry was just hit. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of minutes for CPI. Hopefully price decides to continue to push up. But I will update this trade as we see price fluctuate, okay? I'm Shumham. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right. Asked, what's your daily bias on gold? All right, so we go to my daily bias. What did I say? So price did react off of that nice daily gap at around 1997. It's currently pushing up. We do have nice structure around here, so it could react this morning, but I'm anticipating price to push up and fill up the rest of this from the 4-hour. Scaling in, simply separating price and ranges, to whereas we have range 1 right here, and then we have range 2 over here at above 1992. So this morning after CPI, I want price to near 1992, pushing near range 2, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. But right now, we are pushing into range 2. And this would be range 3, This would be range 3. This is 2. This is 1. We are pushing up. If we get a nice closure in the next 30 minutes, that's perfect. But CPI is going to do what it wants to do. Or if we near BE, or if we even break even now that this trade is active before CPI, then we'll be risk-free. That's what I want to see before CPI. If we get a nice break-even trade, that's perfect, okay? Otherwise, I'm just going to chill for the next 20 minutes. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to be on my phone, okay? W? W? Oh my gosh. Let's fucking go. Alright, so if you guys haven't already, go ahead and break even before CPI. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. I need to see some W's. I need to see some W's. W steez, W steez, W steez. Let's fucking go. I needed that. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. We didn't have any trades last week. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Excuse my language, guys. Not again. Let's go. So we have 15 minutes for CPI. I think I'm gonna extend the live just because. What a beautiful entry. What a beautiful entry. That was 1%. I risked half on that, guys. Nice 1% gain on gold. Let's go. W's in the chat, man. W's in the chat. If you guys took the trade, hopefully you're at a break-even point. If you're extending your TPs to TP3 up in the range 3, that's great. I went ahead and got out that trade once it hit TP2 for a nice 1% gain. And this is on gold. Let me go and record this too. Nice, 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 nice. Nice entry, guys. Nice. All right. That is monthly record. Let's go ahead and put that to 1. And it's already the 12th. Oh my God. This month is going by too fast. Only one trade? Come on, Ace. We can do better. No, I'm just kidding. Look at that, baby, to 12. Perfect. Nice. Do I want to put this breakdown on YouTube? Do you think this would be a good video for YouTube? I mean, I did break it down from A to Z. I don't know. Let me know if you guys want to see this on YouTube. If you think I should post on YouTube, I'll do a more enhanced breakdown, I guess. It's a nice entry. Plain and simple. Simply wanted to catch that break in the range 2. We got that nice break. We placed a buy stop simply because price was fluctuating below 1988. You know, I was hoping we'd get this move for CPI, making it another fun video for news. But we got the move before it, which is awesome. Love to see it, man. Love to see it. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. I'm gonna put this in my journal real quick. You guys have any questions about the trade that I took? Let me turn the volume down. Excuse me. Hopefully you can hear my voice a lot better. If you guys have any questions about the trade I took, let me know, please. Just rinse and repeat every day. Let me know if you guys took the trade too. This is such a good trade. Okay, so let me know if what I just explained, if it didn't make sense, because I did just explain it. I think it's sometimes the way I explain things, and I'm trying to get better at explaining things, guys. Sometimes I explain things that make sense to me. If it's not helpful, I'm gonna try to find a better way to explain my method. But you know, if we go, let's start with TDA, okay? Starting with TDA. Let me go ahead and delete this. Let me focus. All right, starting with TDA. Let's say if I just hopped on gold, right? And let's say price was around this area. Let's say price is down here, okay? Let's go ahead and move this. Boom. All right, so price is right here, okay? Boom, this is perfect. Price is at what? 1981,840. Cool. What am I doing with TDA? TDA simply stands for top-down analysis. I'm starting on my higher time frame and I'm working my way down. And the reason why this is important because you're getting that overall perspective of the market to trade off your lower time frames. You want all your time frames to connect with each other, okay, in some way, and they do. For example, 1 4-hour candle represents 4 1-hour candlesticks, correct, etc., etc. So starting on my daily time frame, because that's usually what I start with. Since I'm an intraday trader, I'm trading sessions. I'm trying to hop in New York session and hop out, okay? That's why I'm starting on my daily time frame, not weekly or monthly. Anyways, starting on my daily time frame, I'm noticing that price is at a nice level at 1981. I'm looking for structure on my 4-hour. Okay, cool. On my 4-hour, I'm noticing we have this big gap in the market that price more than likely is pushing off of. So again, on a daily time frame, there's a gap in the market. Okay, I'm looking at this. You see this? And some might call this an order block. They have this zone pushed out before this bullish candle right here, right? So scaling on the 4 hour, noticing that price is reacting off of that level. Let's go ahead and continue. Oh, I'm sorry. Before we have that move. Or actually, no, this is still good. This is still good. So price is pushing up, okay, off of that zone. And that was from the daily time frame. So if price is pushing off of the daily time frame, I'm looking for some sort of buy entry because we're pushing up off of that gap, okay? So on the 2 hour, if we scale in, this was this morning, price hit 1988 and was fluctuating below, and I'm simply dividing price in the ranges. Now that I'm scaling down, I'm looking at current price and simply just making my ranges so I know what I'm looking for. Either a break, retracement off of that resistance, or a break and retest in the range 2. Okay, so we have range 1, right? We have range 2 right here, and then we have range 3, which is right here. You see that? Before I continue, does that make sense? I don't want to move too fast. Does that make sense so far? Daily time frame, TDA, 4 hour looking for structure, and then 1 hour, I have my ranges. I have price divided into ranges. Does that make sense? Those are 3 steps that I did so far. All right, I'm going to move on. So now that I have price divided into ranges, I'm looking for some sort of entry, okay? So what I was saying for CPI, since we have news on USD, because price was fluctuating below, and again, I'm looking for buys, I had a buy stop placed in case we get that nice break before price nears 1988. If you go back to my previous videos on YouTube, when I do live streams, this is the same strategy I use for CPI. I simply wait for that break because when you have a lot of news, when there's a red folder, there's a big announcement, CPI, NFP, it's going to be very hard to catch that trade manually rather than just placing a buy stop or a sell stop so you don't miss that impulsive push in the market, okay? The only way you can really catch those moves if you wait for a retracement. So if we get that big candle and then it retraces a little bit, then you can manually enter in and you can more than likely catch that move before you miss out, right? So if I continue, price is nearing 1988 and we don't get that push exactly. So I had my buy stop placed right here because again, when it comes to the sellers in the market, a lot of people are placing their sells right here, anticipating price to have that bearish continuation. Someone in the chat even said they're trying to look for sells. Cool, I get it. At 1988 because people have that anticipation that price is retracing off of that bearish trend. But I'm going off of that bullish daily perspective. So most people, they're placing sells from the lower time frames. I'm going off the daily perspective, guys. So in the back of my head, I'm saying buys, buys, buys. I'm looking for buys, right? So I'm saying if we do get a push, it's going to most likely push in the range 2 for that break. And then later on, if we get a retracement, it's going to push off of that newly formed support at 1988. So if I continue, price is nearing, and then boom, we get that push and that huge wick in the range 2. And that's where we exited at around 1991, 1992 for a total of 30 pips. And this was 1%. So we got that nice push. And then price is currently back at around 1988. So we were in and out. That's how quick it was. That was what? All in all for like 5 minutes. That was a 5-minute exit. I'm not sure how long that was, but we're in and out. Hopefully that makes sense. And notice how it wicked just at that TP too, which is beautiful. Almost perfect, but price is now pushing back down. So I can't extend the live for you guys. If you missed out on any profit or any trade, I can extend the live if you guys want me to. We have 7 minutes for CPI. But let me know if that was helpful. Let me know if that breakdown was helpful. Please, BHAM. But that was beautiful, guys. That was beautiful. Love to see it. Love to see it. Hopefully I can pass this, guys, this week, and then I'm gonna start going crazy with the breakdowns, daily breakdowns. I'm gonna start doing more cinematic videos. I've just been so focused on the funding, guys. That's all I've been putting my energy into. You know, I'm not really focused on making YouTube videos unless it's live trading. Like I'm probably gonna clip this up and post it today or tomorrow. We'll see. But that's my main priority. Before heading into 2024, I want to be done with this. Making really good progress. But we have about 6 more minutes for CPI. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. If that breakdown was helpful, let me know. If it wasn't helpful, also let me know. Please. All right, we're gonna check back on EuroCAD. So the only thing you want to be careful of, BHAM, you want to be careful because I think I talked about this on EuroCAD. To whereas, I wanted to wait for a closure above because if you don't wait, sometimes you will experience a fake out. So this only really applies to where you had previous price with a lot of liquidity that needs to be taken out. So in this example, we don't quite have that on EuroCAD, right? The last time we see that is over here, and this was a week ago. So with that being said, you know, when you're working with current price and you want to trade ranges like I have marked up here, you want to wait for a closure above so you don't get faked out like this. To whereas if I entered in off of that break, I more than likely would have been in drawdown right now, right? So you want to play it safe, waiting for that break above that newly formed support for buys or newly formed resistance for sells. Yes, sir. Supersonic. Phase 2. Phase 2. Yep. Phase 1 we beat 2 weeks ago. We are on phase 2. So far, so good. So far, so good. I think my biggest mistake, because I've taken this is my second attempt. My first attempt was, I think, last year. And I had a video, I deleted it. I was trying to make it. It was really cringe. I regret making that video. Not because of me losing the funding challenge, but it was just how I made the video. It was so cringe. Oh my gosh. But my biggest mistake, one thing that I learned was to be patient. What I was doing I think, it was FTMO. I was trying to get setups every day, but with this one, I've literally been playing the patient game, and I can't wait to show you guys. I'll show you guys all the statistics. You'll see how well I was able to, just take my time, you know, not trying to take so many trades. Like you guys are going to be surprised with how many trades I've taken to beat the challenge. You guys are going to be really surprised. But I'm going to show you guys all that end of the week. I'll show you guys all that Friday. Everything's classified right now. I'm not going to tell you guys. I'll show you guys on Friday. I'm keeping it really low key. And then, of course, I'll put you guys on. Like the prop firm is 10 times better than all these other ones that are trying to just get people to pay for the initial fee and then lose. The profit target is way easier. It's not 10%. Like, they actually want you to win. And I did a lot of research, so it's not something that I barely have information on. I'm going to explain everything Friday. But as of now, I'm going to be really quiet and just continue to do this until I see what happens at the end of the week. But I think, you know, being quiet, being patient, just being humble, you know, letting the market humble me as well, that's the way to go. And then I'll start making the videos. You know, last year when I was making the whole documentary, I was getting hype. I was trying to look for trades every day. I was getting greedy. You know, I was trying to force sessions. Like, nah. I was going against my system. But the system I've been using for this one has been working. So if I continue to do that and I don't, you know, if I don't get cocky, I don't over trade, like, we'll be able to beat this before 2024, no doubt. But we have about a minute. We can analyze gold. I mean, it is pushing back up. CPI, My guess is it's gonna push into range 3, something like this. If not, it's gonna retrace back down to 1988. But I'll stay longer for you guys. What a beautiful trade. Good morning too. Good morning. What a dub. Yeah, if it's one thing I learned, Sonic, the market will humble you. I think I was a bit cocky last year. I think that's why too. You know, I was doing so good just in general with everything. Like I was making a lot of progress and the market just humbled my ass. Okay, so CPI just hit. Gold is pushing down. So it did fill range 2 and now it's pushing back into range 1. Oh my god, yeah. Glad I avoided this, right? This would have been choppy as hell. Or if we had a oh yeah, nah. This would have fucked me up, guys. This would have messed me up so bad. Yeah, nah. I'm actually glad I avoided this. But still, I mean, it does initially push into range 3. We're just going to observe this like we're talking a sports game. So price is pushing up. You know, it's pushing the range 3, filled that whole range in. Now it's pushing up to range 4. But we would have been stomped out. That big-ass wick would have taken us out regardless. Starting to look like end of P. But price is doing its thing. It's fluctuating in the range 3. Let's see if it pushes up in the range 4 even. Let's say this is range 4, right? Facts. Oh, I need to upgrade Telegram. I'll say breakdown. I'll drop the breakdown. I'm gonna drop the breakdown in Telegram. Yeah, I might not post on YouTube. I'll think about it. I'll really think about it. I might. I mean, it was 1%. Do you think people are gonna wanna watch that? I might post it, but I'm definitely gonna post the breakdown in Discord and Telegram, guys. I might post on YouTube. I just got stuff I gotta work on. I don't know if I feel like it. What was I about to do? Oh, posting, breakdown later today. Because I got stuff I got to get to, guys. But I think I'll wrap up in the next few minutes. But yeah, most definitely, the market will humble you guys. The market will humble you, Leo. Don't get too cocky. Do not get too cocky. But just an update for those of you that are joining late or joining after the live stream. A couple things I got to do is switch my broker before next week because I've heard some shady things about Hinkle Trade. Apparently, they're not allowing clients to withdraw. And then they currently moved everyone off the platform. So I don't think you can trade, you can't even trade mobily anymore. So, gotta switch brokers heading the next week. And what else? All members, like all the communities, Telegram, Discord, it's gonna be combined this Friday. I'm gonna hop on that and make sure I get that done. Because the website is everything from the website is gonna be taken down. It's gonna merge with Discord. So that's why my website is inactive right now because I'm currently taking everything down and just merging it into the whole Discord community. What else? I think that's it, right, Sonic? I think. Let me know if I'm missing something. I think that's it. If not, just remind me. But those are things I'm going to be working on today. And then I'm going to post a breakdown I might post it on YouTube. I'm going to post it on Discord tonight. And then I'll be live tomorrow, guys. Rinse repeat, 6:30. It's a good Tuesday, though. Yeah, CPI would have messed me up this morning, guys. Not gonna lie. Not going to lie to you guys. That big wick and coming in and out, and that would have messed me up. But yeah, this same strategy, this system I use, guys. I literally use it for all my pairs. Let's just check back on EuroCAD. So yeah, EuroCAD is still stuck at around 1.4650. We'll come back to this morning and review it. All right, boom. I'm glad this happened. So this doesn't work all the time, guys. Look, notice how we get this nice closure above. I'm glad this happened. I'm really glad this happened because I'm able to show you guys why this doesn't work sometimes. So notice how price does push above and then comes back in. So if you were to capitalize on this nice break and retest, you would have been up, yeah, not even over 10 pips, and then you would have been in drawdown. So you just want to be patient and make sure that you get a nice closure above, and then eventually, or yeah, you would take price back up to the previous resistance. But notice how it doesn't work all the time, okay? If it did, I guarantee you guys I'd be a millionaire by now. But it works 90% of the time. But in this case, price did fail, okay? So a good example when it doesn't work. The system that I use does not work all the time. I'd be lying to you guys if I said it works all the time, okay? And then Sage, if you hopped in on that 5-minute time frame, you would have been well in profit, my friend. This would have been a nice trade. I didn't take it. Unfortunately, I was going off of that daily time frame, but you would have been up 50 pips. That would have been a really good trade. Shout out to you, Sage. Nice call out. Nice call out. I might have to study the 5-minute time frame. This was a good trade. You know, just trading off that gap. We got this nice zone entry, and price did its thing. Not too bad. Not too bad. I think I'm gonna bookmark this. I might review this later. Honestly, I might study this. I don't know why I didn't hop in because this was a really good. I think I was hesitating because of the daily time frame. Yeah, I was hesitating, but I would have been a really good entry. All good. We were still able to catch an entry this morning, so I'm not tripping. But I'm gonna give it another 2 minutes, and I'm gonna wrap up, guys. This is a good stream. Really good stream. Yeah, I might post this on YouTube just to have some content, you know. What improvements Snoop study said. Let me turn this down. Okay. Snoop study said, what improvements are you going to implement to your trading plan for next year? Honestly, I think my stop loss placement, because sometimes I have my stop loss too close to that entry level. It's around 15 and 20 pips, and then it gets wicked before pushing back up. So I think my stop loss placement, and I think that's a good question. That's a really good question. Schedule is a big one, and Sonic knows this. My schedule for trading. Only because when I trade, like how I've been trading off camera works for me. But since I'm gonna be growing a community, I need to work on finding a good schedule for you guys. So a good trading schedule for New York or London, depending on what time you guys trade. But scheduling on the days that I trade and I look at the market, stop loss placement, and that's pretty much it. As much as I want to say discipline and psychology, I think I've mastered that. I've been doing this for 4 years now, and I went through that whole phase of learning how to have discipline like 2 years ago. Being patient, I think I kind of mastered that. I mean, you guys can see from OBS as well. Monthly records, only one trade so far, which was this morning. I'm really patient when it comes to executing. And I think what else? What else? What else do I need to improve on? What do you guys think? I mean, this isn't really trading related, but I guess marketing. I'm not sure because I don't really market myself. If I'm gonna be doing this as as a business, I don't really market myself. Honestly, I just post clips. I don't really pay attention to comments or anything. Like, I just keep on going. So I guess marketing. I don't know if that counts. But like, I don't really market myself as I should be. What else? That's a really good question. I'm glad you asked that. I feel like I'm missing something. Hmm. Oh, backtesting. Backtesting more often. Because I only backtest every other Saturday for like 30 minutes. It's not. I don't think it's enough time. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I think that's it. I love that you asked that question, Snoop. It's a really good question. But yeah, we have about 3 more minutes. If you guys have any questions you want to ask about anything, about life, about Forex, about trading, it can be about anything, honestly. And then I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to do shout outs, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning. And then I'll start working on this YouTube video. But definitely building a community is something I want to, focus on. Marketing, like what my whole focus right now is funding. I have like this whole thing in my head. It's funding, and then after funding, marketing. When I say marketing, I'm gonna start going crazy on YouTube again. Consistent, and then I'll start paying attention to social media. I'll start replying to comments, start interacting with you guys. But right now, I've just been focused on my own self progression, just focusing on funding, and then what else after that? Marketing, and then building community, all that stuff. But it's like steps I'm taking. I'm not trying to do it all at once because that would be a lot for me. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, ask away. Otherwise, I'm gonna wrap up in the next 3 minutes. This is a really good stream. 2-second win strategy is insane. Sonic, what do you think? What do you think the title should be for this one? I'm gonna start reading comments today, but I guarantee the comments are not pretty in my last video. A lot of people are gonna think it's fake. But what do you think the title should be in this one? 2-second win strategy is insane. That is funny. That is funny as hell. I think I made a stupid face again, so I'll try to make it into a funny video. But let's be honest, guys. You go on YouTube, you see a video, it says making whatever amount in 2 seconds, you're gonna think they're a scammer. Let's be honest. You're gonna think they're a scammer. So I don't blame you guys for thinking that I'm a scammer, honestly. $1% in 1 second. That'd be funny. Snoop, I'm thinking about Forex.com. It was a broker I was using last year. The reason why I switched to Henko is because they didn't allow me to trade gold. But hopefully they changed it. Alrighty. Shout out Sonic, shout out Sage, shout out Nawako, shout out B-Ham, shout out Snoop. You guys were great this morning. Appreciate you guys for joining. You know, I may not have the numbers on these live streams, but I'd rather have a small community of loyal people than a big community of people that just want to see me lose, you know. So I appreciate you guys for joining the live stream. If you're watching this post live stream, also appreciate you as well. I will be posting the breakdown later today. And of course, if you are thinking about joining the community, make sure you click that link in the description to have a free trial of the Discord. If you don't like it, you can always leave. Other than that, I'm going to go ahead and get to work. Appreciate you guys. Come up with a good title that doesn't sound fishy. Yeah, I'm going to think about it. I might have to rename the other one, but I'm going to come up with something. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get to work. Hopefully you guys have a good morning. You can always reach out to me on Instagram or Discord. I'll be there. And yeah, rinse and repeat tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. sharp. Until then, see you guys. I'm out.